You know, it's not every day that Jeopardy comes to the East Coast, and it is certainly not every day that you get a behind-the-scenes look at the game show.
Well, Delmarva Life was front and center as the show came to Washington, D.C. Our very own Brian Spyros was part of it all. He got to watch the show come together and spoke with the one and only Alex Trebek. Take a look.
Jeopardy! It's become a household name and has been entertaining America for 28 years. Its home base is at the Sony Studios in Los Angeles, but the entire Jeopardy crew packed their bags and brought the show to Constitution Hall in Washington, D.C.
You ready for some TV?
Delmarva Life was there to see it all in action and talk with some of the key players, including the man who needs no introduction, Alex Trebek.
I think the best part of my job is the 30 minutes I spend on stage with the contestants working the game.
Alex Trebek began his career in broadcasting 50 years ago. He got into the industry as a way to pay for his college education. In fact, the job of game show host wasn't even on his radar when he was thinking about his future, but plenty of other careers were.
I wanted to be a doctor, a pilot. I wanted to go into politics. I thought about acting. There were many things, but as I told the audience here today, I'm a failure. I have not achieved any of my early ambitions.
During our time at Constitution Hall, Jeopardy was taping its teen tournament. The man in charge of it all, executive producer Harry Friedman.
It's the best job in TV.
Friedman is no stranger to the game show circuit. He's also the executive producer of Wheel of Fortune.
I guess the company, Sony, thought I was doing a good job, and they said, would you like to come aboard Jeopardy? And before they could get that question out, I jumped at the opportunity.
Friedman is the man who looks over all the questions and content for each show, which is given to him by a staff of 16 writers. And Alex does his fair share of research to make sure he delivers the content with perfection. I mean, if you really think of it, have you ever heard him mispronounce something?
There has to be a fair amount of preparation on my part. I don't want to mispronounce any names of people, for instance, in front of an audience. I don't want to look stupid on the air. And so I do go over all the games and I look up any words I don't know. And the pronunciation of words that may be simple for you might be unknown to me, and so I use a dictionary a lot.
So what does it take to move Jeopardy clear across the country? Well, a lot of manpower and precision.
Everything you see here, except the audience seating, we brought with us from LA. The lighting, the set, the electronics, everything. So it's quite an endeavor, and it is risky. We're creating a TV studio 3,000 miles away from home.
In fact, the crew arrived 3 weeks before Jeopardy began taping its shows in D.C., just to get ready in time. Over the course of 2 days, thousands packed the venue to watch the tapings of nearly a dozen shows. And during commercial breaks, Alex made it a point to address the audience and answer as many questions as he could. And let's not forget about the young contestants on stage. What an experience, which got me thinking, how would Alex do if he was in their shoes?
Against my peers, people who are seniors, I would do all right. But a good 30-year-old would clean my clock any day of the week. My reflexes are slower, and I can't remember things as quickly as I used to.
And after nearly 3 decades at the helm, Alex Trebek himself admits he doesn't know everything. For him, the show is still a learning experience.
What I've done mostly is aroused my curiosity about many subjects. We get a clue about something, and I'll say, gosh, I didn't know that. And then I'll go home, and I'll either go on the internet or go to some books in my fairly vast library and look it up and read about it.
Wow, what a class act.
So a 30-year-old like you would clean his clock.
Yeah, right.
Pretty awesome.
I'll give you the money later.
Okay.
Well, from hanging out with the star of Jeopardy to hanging out with the stars of the UMES women's bowling team, Brian will be back to show us the tricks of the trade.
Plus, living with glaucoma. This is what it's like. Well, we've got some preventative measures with Chesapeake Eye Center that you want to know about, and that's coming up next on Delmarva Life, Life at its Best, here on Delmarva.